Welcome. Welcome to Portsea Mixed Tea. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure to have you. And also, please, before we start, could you please subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share the channel if you like it, and hit the notification bell, and then you'll know when I'm coming on. Thank you again for being here. And before I start, let me ask a question. So, is it just me? Today, as you know, we usually start with the usual poetry. So that's what I'll do today as well. It's called The Hill. Waking up to you each day is more pleasure than I can say. I'm always amazed at the way you make me pant as I make my way to the top. Sometimes I have to stop and take a stock. Horses grazing, birds flying about. What is that in your bush? Had to stop and take a second look. Just a baby fox, as frightened as can be at seeing me. Walking on before the vixen return to care for her pup. Onward I go to finish my trek to the top of this hill, then sit down and have a rest. I hope you like that poem. It was thought about because what I'm going to talk to you about today is where I live and the scenery around where I live. So, I live at the bottom of a large hill. Well, my house is the last house on the top of the hill. And each time I open my window at first thing in the morning or my back door and look up at that beautiful hill, I tell you, I am in awe at what I see. And then I start to imagine what it would be like to climb to the top of that hill. It would be awesome to do that. But I have to leave it to the younger people to go up to the top of that hill because I can no longer make that climb. But there, when I stand and I look, there is always something wonderful to see. Sometimes it's a large bird of prey with wingspans stretching way out. Then you'll have that bird gliding along aimlessly. It's so marvelous to watch. And then there's foxes. There's also hedgehogs, goats. Sometimes there's goats grazing along on the hill. And horses. There are a lot of birds that live there. Various beautiful birds. Some of them I really don't know what they're called, to be honest with you. And they're just wonderful to look at. But one drawback to living on this hill is the wind. Twice I've had the fence blown down. And whenever there's a crosswind, it gets blown down. I've done it twice before, and it's blown down, but it's done again. And another thing that it has done is it has taken a couple of tiles off my roof. So that's the only drawback. But I tell you something, I wouldn't live anywhere else but this lovely place that I'm living at. But the other thing that shocked me is when the fence of my neighbor blew down, the foxes off the mountain would come down into my garden. I could see them at night walking across the other gardens. So that was a bit shocking. But the fence is up now, so I'm quite safe in my garden, and I love every minute of it. Just sitting there and just looking up at that mountain. It's beautiful, you know. And I make sure that even though the fence is up, I don't leave anything that would attract any of the wild animals from the hill, you know. So I just make sure that everything is clean, no smells. So because for miles they can come when they start have a smell, so I just don't let them. So is it just me that live in such a place, or has any of you who live there anything like that happen to you? You see foxes and other wild creatures in your garden? I would love to hear what you think. And I want to say again, thank you very much for listening to Portsea Mixed Tea. And I hope that I should be able to do another show video for you as soon as possible. I'm trying to do it on a Tuesday, but as you can see, sometimes I fail. But we're all imperfect. So I do hope you'll forgive me and just keep coming and looking at the channel, because it is very important. And I thank you very much. I will talk about something else next week. You'll just have to turn up and find out what it is. Thank you. Portsea Mixed Tea. I'm out. Bye.